One doesn't need to have a big pocket to help others. Certainly not. Sometimes all it requires is a little heartfelt willingness to help and efforts that could take the shape of a massive dream. This is the story of two men and how their efforts changed the face of this small village in the beautiful Himalayan kingdom of Nepal called Lukla, which is now the official gateway to the mighty Mount Everest and Solakhumbu region, the highest natural terrain of the face of Mother Earth. The story dates back to 1983, when a mountain guide named Dennis Berthollet from Switzerland reached the summit of Mount Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain in the world, with the help of a Sherpa man named Sirdar Pasang Gyaltsen Sherpa. After his successful summit of Kanchenjunga, Dennis wanted to acknowledge the effort of his Sherpa friend by doing something meaningful for him and the people of Lukla. There were no formal education schools in Lukla back then. Sirdar, lovingly called Appa by the locals, could have asked Dennis for anything for himself. But he requested Dennis for a school to provide education to the kids of Lukla. After having offered his service as a mountain guide to Dennis, Appa could have chosen himself. But he chose everyone else's requirements over his own needs. Dennis, considering his genuine willingness to help, could have helped anybody from any part of this world. But he chose to help the children of Lukla. Both the great men knew that education would be the biggest gift they could give to the village. A gift that would shape the course of lives of generations of Lukla to come. And that's exactly how, a year later, in 1984, following a sincere endeavor of Dennis to raise funds, the first and to date, the only primary school in Lukla came into existence. It was named Luklass Basic School.
अब उहाँले त ओके त भनौँ म एकदम अनएजुकेटेड भएको हुनाले मैले आई डोन्ट नो हाउ टु राइट हाउ टु डिजाइन माइसेल्फ अनि राति मलाई धेरै चिन्ता लाग्यो कि किनभने मलाई त लेख्न आउँदैन भने मैले हिम्मत गरेर अनि बिस्तारै त्यो डिजाइन गरेर त्यो बनाएर दिएपछि अनि उहाँले डेनिस बेटलले एक्सेप्ट गर्नुभयो इस्टिमेट कस्ट निकालेको जम्मा 35,000 दिस टाइम 35,000 पनि अब ठुलो पैसा. This is still the same building in the beginning, the first building. 35 students are here. Some of been the doctors. But, most of these students are here and they are supporting for the schools. मैले यो लुक्लासलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद गर्नुपर्छ अनि उहाँले कन्टिन्यू सपोर्ट गरिरहेको छ. 2014 मा चाहिँ उहाँ आउनु भएको लुक्लामा. डेनिसको लास्ट भिजिट probably 2017 जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई चाहिँ. It's a very old photo.
Dennis, his donors and supporters have been active in Nepal since the inception of this school. And later in 2008, they registered a non-profit organization called the Luklass Chauri Kharka Association or the Luklass. Today, the organization largely supports the education of the common people of Lukla as a means for the local population to obtain better living conditions. Apart from building Lukla Basic School, Luklass has also funded the only secondary school in the region called the Mahendra Jyoti Secondary School, located in a village nearby Lukla called Chauri Kharka. And ever since its inception, Luklass has been supporting these two schools and multiple projects aimed at providing a healthy environment in Lukla and Chauri Kharka in the Khumbu Valley region in Nepal. Luklass Basic School had started with only 35 students and one teacher, as back then the population of the village was less, but today It is providing education to over 400 children from Lukla and nearby villages with the help of 15 teachers. Almost 4 decades ago, Dennis had shaped the lives of 35 children who had dreamt of education. But today, the dream has made its way to over 400 children, mostly from economically backward families of the region.
Namaste.
Luklass didn't just build a school in the village, they built the dreams of many parents and children. Parents who didn't get an education due to a lack of school in their times are happy today as their kids are getting a good education.
अनि म पनि पहिला लुक्ला स्कुलमै पढेको त्यही भएर मेरो बच्चाहरू नि लुक्ला स्कुलमै पढाइरहेको छु लुक्ला स्कुल चाहिँ साह्रै राम्रो छ अब हामी गरिब गुरुको लागि पनि सस्तो पनि त्यही मैले पनि मेरो बच्चाहरू चाहिँ राम्रै पढाउँ अब सकेसम्म राम्रै धेरै पढाउँ धेरै पढेर ठुलो मान्छे होस्
अब घर सर्लाही जिल्ला छ राम्रो स्कुल छ यहाँ अनि पढाइ पनि राम्रो सुन्यो अनि त्यही भएर हामी पुरै फ्यामिली लिएर आएको अनि म खासै यता एउटा बच्चा मेरो 3टे छोराको पढाउनको लागि मात्र यता बसिरहेको छु
Luklass has built the classroom with all the possible amenities. Installed the solar panel at both the schools. Apart from this, the organization is also financing the salaries of a few teachers to maintain quality education. Indeed, the construction of schools is the most important achievement of Luklass towards the communities of Lukla and Chaurikharka, as it gave the children a new way of life. Today, many of the students of Lukla Primary School are working at reputable designations on the community level throughout the country, bringing further bigger social changes.
मैले यसै लुक्ला आधारभूत विद्यालयमा क्लास 4 सम्म मैले अध्ययन गरेको थिएँ लुक्ला आधारभूत विद्यालयको फर्स्ट ब्याच हो मैले यस ठाउँमा एउटा आफ्नो एउटा जन्मथलो र एउटा कर्मथलो भएको नाताले गर्दा मैले एउटा सामाजिक सेवा गर्ने मौका पाएँ लुक्ला आधारभूत विद्यालयमा त्यो बेलामा मैले 4 क्लाससम्म एकदम पढ्ने मौका पाएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि मैले आज एउटा समाजमा एउटा वडाध्यक्षको नाताले मैले सेवा गर्ने मौका पाएँ
Certainly, a small thing done by Dennis 4 decades ago is now creating a beautiful positive social change in the lives of many. Lukla is known as the land of Sherpas. People knew it only as a gateway to Mount Everest, where Sherpas live and serve the tourist. But Dennis gave it a new definition by building a school in such a remote part of Nepal. His contribution to Lukla has today made the kids dream big, a dream that goes beyond serving just as mountain guides and porters. He gave children the wings to fly.
म ठुलो भएर टिचर बन्ने म ठुलो भएर डाक्टर बन्ने म ठुलो भएर पुलिस बन्ने म ठुलो भएर टिचर बन्ने
Dennis made an unparalleled dream of quality education reach a place where even the roads have not reached yet. A reality. As part of their endeavors towards maintaining quality education, Luklass is currently building apartments for teachers to give them access to all the basic amenities. Till now, the teachers have been living in a tiny houses with very few amenities. And by making the teachers move into the new apartment close to the school premises, Luklass aim to provide the teachers with a good environment at home and free them from the unwanted struggles of day-to-day life. The teachers can then afford more time to concentrate on school work, further shaping the lives of the children of Lukla. Their work is not limited to just schools and children. In 2016, Luklass also provided skill development program to over 200 men and women of Lukla and nearby villages. They offered greenhouse and culinary training to the women, making them self-dependent and eligible to earn extra by growing their own vegetables. What a beautiful way to empower women.
हामीले 45 दिने ट्रेनिङ गरेर धेरै हामीलाई नि सजिलो भयो केही कुरा नजानेको नि कुरा जानियो यसो अब सागसब्जी रोपेर यसो बच्चालाई पढाउने खर्च राम्रै भइरहेछ अहिलेसम्म अब पैसाहरू अलिअलि अब घरमै बसेर कमाइहरू भइरहेछ
They trained the men in their skills like carpentry, machinery, electrical, and more, and by doing so, they generated extra employment in the area. And in a land where men and women worked mostly as guides and porters, Dennis gave them a new way of life. Truly, sometimes all it requires is a small step towards a bigger change. During the devastating earthquake of 2015, almost all the buildings of the Chauri Kharka school had collapsed and turned into ruins. And once again sticking to their promise of providing quality education in the area, Luklass funded the reconstruction of this school and kept the hope for a beautiful future alive in the hearts of the students and teachers. Today, the school and the hostel on the campus accommodate 300 plus students and more than 22 teachers.
I truly believe that education is the foundation upon which every child can build their future. And this is what exactly Dennis and Luklass Association did to build the future of the children of Lukla by investing in education. And my generation was the one who benefited the most. Education really helped us to expand our horizon. It gave us that knowledge where we could actively get involved in building and developing our own communities, our societies. And more importantly, it helped us become a more responsible national citizen. So when Dennis started his education project in Lukla in 1984, he had a dream to see one day Lukla community being led by the people of Lukla. And I think now his dream has come true. Because today most of the people who are leading Lukla community, either by being a government representative, political leader, business leader, economic leader, social leader, every one of them had done education from Lukla Basic School. So for this, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Dennis, all the members of Luklass Association who have been associated with Dennis since 1984, and of course the people of Swiss, who continually support for Lukla for the last 38 years to build the future of Lukla through education. So thank you very much.
So this year, Luklass has completed 38 long years of its service in Nepal. And what has it given in the last 4 decades to the people of Lukla? Well, a better future, countless smiles, hope in their eyes, and lasting happiness in their lives. They say there is nothing more beautiful than someone who goes out of their way to make life beautiful for others. Dennis Berthollet did exactly that. He devoted most of his life to helping the people of Lukla. Education was probably the most basic and simplest thing he could give to this village. But the simple things are never simple. They are the most extraordinary, and only wise understands that.